Okay, this will be a 2:20 for 5 minutes, starting with defense. Go off the record for a moment, back on. I said I don't need to ask your permission to be where I need to be. Go take care of your customer and everything will be okay. Okay, now, where was this customer at this point? His customer was standing near where the gas master or meter enclosure was. What's that little brown box below where it says air conditioning in picture 1A? Yes, yes, okay. And what kind of vehicle did this customer have? It was a small white car. I think it was a Mercury Topaz. Okay, it was an older small white car. And so you told him, I don't need your permission, go back and help your customer. I said in as bland a manner as I could, I said, go back, take care of your customer, everything will be okay. So my intention was to be gone in 30 seconds or so and let it siphon by itself. Okay, and then what happened next? And the next thing I knew, just a matter of seconds, then I proceeded my work, just focused on my task. And I heard an engine revving up, heard the chirp of tires, and the car was just about on me, and the rear bumper, it was in reverse, and I didn't realize it was coming at me, but the car bumped my vacuum and the side of my leg at the same time, and I realized that he was in the car. Okay, was this white Topaz? Yes. Okay, so it was this customer's car, correct? Yes. Okay, I think it was that customer's car. He was there talking about it with him. Okay, after you said go take care of your customer, how long is it until you hear this engine revving? Fairly short amount of time. My estimate would be 15, 20 seconds. And you hear the engine rev and then the tires chirp, correct? Yes. And then at that time, did you look up? No. No, it happened so fast. I didn't know what was going on. Okay, so I was from the time the tires chirped till the vehicle made contact with you. How long do you think that would have been? Seconds. Too quickly for me to really fully understand what was happening. Okay, and it makes contact with the vacuum in your leg at approximately the same time. Yes, that was very close to parallel to the vacuum. Okay, what part of the vehicle made contact with your leg? The rear bumper. What side of the rear bumper? And use passenger or driver so that it's clear. Okay, I'm thinking starboard port, the passenger side. Okay, and was that, how close were you standing to the vacuum? I was leaning over the vacuum with my right hand. Oh, approximately 2.5 feet. Okay, and what part of this bumper struck the vacuum? The broad side of the bumper, the same part of the bumper. It's a wide plastic bumper cover that covers. Okay, was the, I think my leg and the vacuum were approximately the same height where they made contact. That would be okay. And which leg was it that the bumper made contact? My right leg. Can you approximate how fast the vehicle was going when it struck your leg? I can't. I couldn't attempt to guess at that. It was a relatively short distance. It's not like he was driving down the street. I can't guess. Well, how, let me ask you this. The vehicle was backing up when it struck you, correct? Yeah, it was. It was backing up pretty quickly. How? Because he did hit the brakes pretty hard to stop it just in time. Between the back bumper when the car was parked to where you were standing, where it made contact with you, how many feet is that? It looks to me about, it was probably a car length, a car and a half length. I'd say 1.5 car lengths. Okay, okay. And when it made contact, did you say he applied the brakes? If he hadn't applied the brakes, I'd be dead now. Okay, let me ask you this. When it made contact with you, what did you do? I did nothing. I was shocked. Okay, were you still standing up? Yes. Okay, did not throw you to the ground, correct? It did not knock me down. I absorbed the shock. Okay, close to losing my balance, but I did not lose my balance. I consider myself very lucky. I consider myself lucky the customer didn't come in for brake work. Okay, so as he backs up this 1.5 car lengths, can you give me an estimate how many feet he broke before he made contact with you? I couldn't guess that. I don't know. Okay, the vehicle was, though, in the process of braking and stopping when it made contact with you, correct? Well, it did stop when it made contact with me. It didn't completely run me over. Okay, at that point, what did you do? I leaned. I kept leaning over for a moment, slowly stood up to compose myself, and tried to figure out what had just happened. My first inclination was to just leave, and I stood there. I straightened up and stood there for a moment to try to figure out what would be the appropriate way to handle a situation like this. Okay, and did you decide on an appropriate method to handle this situation? No, I'm a non-confrontational and calm person. I was more worried about what had just happened to me and what was going to happen. So I stood there for a moment. Okay, let me ask you, as you're standing there, do you notice anyone? Is there any other people around? I didn't notice anything except my standing there being shocked. Did you notice David in this vehicle? No, he quickly got out of the car. Okay. Did you notice the passenger? This client of theirs had been standing below that air conditioning sign in 1A.